Hello everyone, welcome to General Hospital Daily Channel. Please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. Drew and Ava's plan for Brennan and the thing that could go terribly wrong. Let us start with a weekly preview clip because what is shown in it is alarming enough to require the full and honest examination it deserves. Drew and Ava at the Metro Court. Drew telling Ava he needs her to keep Brennan busy. And then, the image that should make everyone watching sit up straighter. A woman's hand placing something into a drink. That is not a metaphorical scheme. That is a literal act of drugging someone without their knowledge. And the specific person who is going to consume whatever has been placed in that drink is Brennan. Here is what Drew is actually trying to accomplish. He wants to search Brennan's hotel room while Ava runs interference, keeps Brennan occupied, keeps him distracted, keeps him from returning to the room while Drew is inside it looking for what he came for. What Drew is looking for is the blackmail evidence. The proof that Brennan has been holding over Drew's head. The information about Drew's misappropriated campaign funds that has been the specific constraint keeping Drew from fully executing his revenge plans against the people who hurt him. Drew agreed to stay quiet about Willow shooting him. He agreed to stay quiet about everything that was done to him across that terrible summer of paralysis and captivity and the lake. And the reason he agreed was the leverage Brennan held. Remove that leverage, and Drew is no longer constrained. Remove that leverage and the careful arrangement that has been keeping Willow and Nina and Brennan all operating in a specific equilibrium suddenly has one of its key supports pulled out from under it. So the plan makes sense from Drew's perspective. Get Ava to distract Brennan. Slip into the hotel room. Find and take or destroy the evidence. Walk out without the leash. The problem is the drug. Brennan is a man who has been through significant physical stress in recent months. The WSB is not an organization that attracts fragile people, but that does not mean a person is immune to medical complications from being given a substance they were not informed about and did not consent to. Drew does not want to harm Brennan. That is specifically stated. But wanting and producing are different things when you introduce a foreign chemical into someone's body without any knowledge of their medical history, their current health status, or how their system will respond. Brennan is confirmed to be exiting this show in the fall. His death is confirmed. The question that has been building all summer is what form that exit takes. And what Drew and Ava are setting in motion this week, with the drug and the hotel room and the ambitious scheme against a man who has been specifically described as someone who dies in his final chapter, could be the beginning of that exit in a way that neither Drew nor Ava intends. An overdose scenario. An allergic reaction. A drug interaction with something Brennan is already taking. A medical emergency that puts him in a hospital bed. These are not dramatic inventions. These are the realistic outcomes of giving an unknown substance to a person of unknown medical history in the service of a scheme that was designed to incapacitate rather than harm. If Brennan ends up in the ICU because of what goes into that drink, if he goes from distracted by Ava to hospitalized on a ventilator in the span of an afternoon, Drew is going to have caused something he explicitly did not want to cause. Not intentionally, not maliciously, but through the specific recklessness of a man who is so focused on his objective that he is not fully considering the range of possible outcomes of the methods he is using. And the chain of events from that medical emergency to Brennan's eventual fall exit is the chain of events that this scheme may be setting in motion right now. Drew searching the hotel room while Brennan is in an ambulance. Drew potentially finding the evidence and believing he has freed himself from the leverage. And Brennan fighting for his life in a hospital where the people who care about him, Nina, Jocelyn, the institutional figures who depend on his position, are going to be gathering around him not knowing why this happened. The scheme is beginning. The exit it may be triggering is the one that has been confirmed since early in the summer. And the specific way Drew and Ava have constructed it suggests that neither of them has fully modeled out all of the possible endpoints. Valentine offers Jason a job, and Carly does not see it coming. Now let us talk about the poolside conversation that is going to produce one of the week's most interesting character moments. Valentine making Jason an offer, Jason being genuinely interested, and Carly stumbling onto the whole thing without warning. Here is the context that makes this job offer make sense. Jason is out of Sunny's world. He has made that commitment, and he is honoring it. He is focused on Danny. He is open to the YLQ possibility that Carly floated, but nothing has been formalized there yet. He is a man in between chapters, knowing very clearly what the previous chapter was and having the broad strokes of what the next one should look like, but not yet the specific form of it. Valentine has been thinking about Windmere. The Sidwell asset auction has not happened yet, but Valentine has been planning for it. Windmere and Spoon Island are what he wants. The Cassadine family home, the place Charlotte has been asking to return to, the stable where her horse lives, the whole world of that island that represents something specific and important to that family. He has been positioning himself to be in a strong bidding position when the auction opens. And Charlotte wants to live there.
She has been vocal about it.
She wants the home, the horse, the stability of a place that is genuinely hers and her father's rather than a temporary arrangement in someone else's space. Lulu allowed Charlotte to move in with Valentine, with specific conditions. One of them was that Valentine provide a proper home. Windmere would satisfy that condition in the most complete possible way. But Lulu's anxiety about Charlotte being at Windmere, the island, the isolation, the Cassadine history of that place, is real even if she has not named it explicitly. Valentine needs someone he trusts to be present at Windmere once he has it. Someone whose instincts are excellent, whose threat assessment is proven, whose presence does not require constant explanation or credentialing because the capability is simply visible. Someone who would also be acceptable to Lulu precisely because he is not of the Cassadine world, but is someone Lulu has a separate relationship with. Jason fits every criterion. Danny and Charlotte are close. The two of them spending time together is already established as a normal part of their lives. Jason being present in that world, as Charlotte's security, as a legitimate employee of Valentine's operation at Windmere, gives Jason proximity to Danny in a context that is genuinely legitimate and genuinely useful. Not a contrivance, but an actual arrangement that serves multiple people's interests. Carly stumbling onto the conversation is the element that complicates it immediately. Because Carly's relationship to Valentine is complicated in specific ways. She loves him. She is building something with him. She also has the flash drive in a drawer that Brick handed her and that she has not opened because she is not ready to know what is on it. Seeing Jason and Valentine in what is clearly a serious conversation without having been told about it is the specific kind of discovery that activates Carly's protective instincts. She trusts Jason absolutely. Her feelings about Valentine are more layered. But Valentine and Jason in a conversation together, without her knowledge, discussing something that is clearly significant, she's going to want to know everything about what just happened. Jason's initial reluctance to shake Valentine's hand is consistent with his entire history with this man. The hand eventually being offered is consistent with Jason's pragmatism and with the specific legitimate quality of what is being proposed. This is not a sunny offer. It is a security and protection arrangement for a family that includes people Jason genuinely cares about. That is work Jason understands, and work Jason can do with integrity. The offer may end up being the specific form that Jason's post-mob chapter takes. Not Yell Q in the boardroom. Not Corinthos coffee. Something that uses the skills he has in a context that genuinely serves people he cares about while keeping him legitimately out of the world he left. The week in full, and what everything is building toward. And finally, let us look at the full picture of the week and what these developments together mean for where Port Charles is heading as the summer concludes and the fall begins. The AVA'S scheme against Brennan is the most immediately alarming development because of its physical stakes. Everything else this week is operating in the realm of information and conversation and strategic positioning. The drug in the drink is concrete physical action with unpredictable physical consequences. Whatever Drew finds in Brennan's hotel room, if he gets into the room, if he finds what he is looking for, if the scheme produces the outcome he intended, the method used to create the opportunity could produce a secondary outcome that reshapes everything. If Brennan is hospitalized because of what Ava put in his drink, the news reaches Nina immediately. Nina's grief and fear about Brennan would be enormous. This is a man she has genuine feelings for, a man who has been warning her all summer about Willow, a man whose care for her has been real even when his professional behavior has been questionable. Watching him fight for his life as a direct result of something Drew arranged is going to produce a specific kind of fury in Nina that her usual channels cannot contain. Thank you for watching. For a daily update, don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon.